Cash out. What is cash out? Lawmaker is sharing 224 million. Hope say you reach our side. Hope say you go reach your side.
Hopefully.
Anyways, my name is Bright World, and we're live on the morning break.
Good morning, and I'm Mohammed Kabir.
Okay, on to our first story for today. We have the Niger state government mandates sermon approval for preachers. In other words, the Niger state government just put out a mandatory
Order.
order for all the preachers, be it the Christian, what do you call them again?
Muslim,
Or Muslim, whoever. You say if you're going to put out a sermon note, it must pass through his table. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, Nigeria is like, we are a mixed country in Nigeria. We have Muslims, we have traditional leaders, we have Christians, everybody, coming together. I don't want to attack, I don't want to attack some people's states, but I feel like this is a direct infringement on our human rights as a people. They said it's for security reasons, and I do understand where they are coming from. They are saying that people can say things that can incite violence, and it is actually true. Some people, when they get to the pulpits, they say things that can actually cause public unrest when they say it to their members. So yes, they have a point, and I actually understand where they're coming from. However, this can be seen to be a direct infringement on human rights. It can be stifling free speech, and we've seen a lot of this recently, with them trying to stifle free speech. So this is something that goes against our constitution, I think section 38, 39, but it goes directly against our constitution. And because they said they'll be using DSS and police to enforce these things, I'm actually very skeptical about it, because I don't know, maybe who determines what is safe and what is right, and you can now see what we'll start seeing is DSS will start carrying some people. They might come and carry your pastor one day or your imam one day and say you said something against the government.
Mohammed, basically, what do you have to say? Do you think that they would start giving them scripts now too? Because they've told them that okay, this thing should pass through his table. So do you look forward to them giving our pastors and imams scripts now to preach to us?
Yes, the governor, Umar Bago of Niger State, cited that the reason he's taking this action is because they want to prevent harmful message. Also, he calls himself farmer, so he calls himself farmer, Governor Bago. But from my own point of view, I think this, just like what IJ said to add, I think this is an infringement on human rights, honestly. And I feel like this is a way to prevent people from having free speech. Is it that they must come to you, must hear what they want to say if it sits right with you. So if it's against you, maybe what they're trying to say is against you, he's not going to let things like this come over. And I think this is another avenue for potential abuse of power. Because, okay, maybe if the pastor or imam wants to criticize APC, that's the governor's party. I don't think the governor is going to ever allow something like that to move out. And is it by force? This has been something, he said that this is something that happens in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a fully Muslim country, but Nigeria is a mixed religious country. You cannot impose, and Niger State especially. Niger State is not a place like Kano where we know it's mainly dominated by Muslims. So Niger State
But
is a
even the
place.
comparison, Saudi Arabia is a monarchical government. So how can you compare that to a democratic
and
system of government?
a place like Niger State that is having mixed religions, it's a mixed religious entity. You cannot just wake up and impose. Okay, what if he's not a Christian? He does not know the teachings of the Bible, so you can't just wake up and say, okay, what you want to preach, bring it.
But if I'm going to argue for him, there were arguments that Muhammad Yusuf's preaching were part of the things that gave rise to the Boko Haram that we know today. So, I mean, you don't have to be of a particular religion to recognize that this is capable of causing public unrest. However, my problem is God inspires, you will now come and re-inspire your own.
But you see, honestly, from one opinion, I just feel like they're trying to use this opportunity to stop, because we see now some of the imams and pastors are telling people, okay, vote for good governance. So I feel like this is an avenue for them to regulate what they want the people to hear rather than what the people want to hear.
On to our next story. uh, Basically, all I have to say concerning that is, Governor, please stick to your. I don't understand this need for the governors. Recently, first we saw governor being PTA chairman regulating
Just code.
when they no first it is
When they
when
should have
you should have graduation
graduations.
and when they should not have
Yeah.
graduation. The other one was saying dress code and everything. Now this one done they turn to
Another
prefect to the inspect
religious
preaching.
activities.
I don't
Turn to
understand.
camp.
Is it that their concernments and everything has finished? They are done with security, they are done with education, they are done with
And
everything.
I think this can be left to, since there's a Christian association
There's
and
CAN,
there's a
the
Muslim association,
Council.
so this should be left with them
There's
to carry out
MSSN.
this.
So what
I
is
think they should
going
give a
on?
directive to these organizations and
Rather
let
than
them take
you
on that
frontiering
task
this.
of filtering and keeping their members in check.
That when your states are still having issues, I think it's better you focus on.
Should
this.
find new members for his cabinet first.
Thank you. Yeah, you just dissolved your cabinet. Yeah, it's true. I think you should know. You know what to do rather than coming to put your mouth in this. This is what you should be focusing on.
On to our next story, we see CCI launching a free school in Ibadan. I mean, I would have thought that this is what I'll be hearing from Niger State.
Don't worry, you are still
But
regulating
don't worry.
religious activities.
But yes, a church, CCI Celebration Church. They are launching a free school in Ibadan. Assuming it was left to him now, he would have wanted them to pass that through his table. But okay, let's come back.
I saw what
Cut.
you did there.
Start back again. Okay, what do you have to say about it?
Honestly, when I saw the story, I was very, very happy. I was very impressed. Obviously, I have concerns, but I was honestly very happy. And I mentioned, I said, this is at least let's see a church-owned school that the members can finally attend.
Afford.
And I don't want to throw shades at anybody. I don't want to drag anybody, but I'm very happy that they're doing this. The only obvious concerns are obviously with accreditation and sustainability. That's very, very important. How is this going to be sustained? Members don't gather money. You have done it. How is it going to be sustained? Are you going to have the quality of education that you're going to be, giving there? Are the teachers qualified enough to take on these roles? And how accessible is it? Because once you say free school, let's believe that every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to want to register. People want to be educated, and if it's free, better still. What are the criteria? They said it's for the poor, for the people that cannot afford it. Is it for members only? That's another thing. Are you going to be required to join the church before you can access? Because you're going to have a lot of people wanting to come on board. And then making sure that the Oyo State government, at least the education, Ministry of the Commissioner of Education, is partnering with this sort of initiative. Make sure they get the accreditation, the teachers are qualified, and that they are teaching, in line with the curriculum. Don't go and bring extra. Let this not be as with many church schools. For example, if you're going to a Catholic school, they're being indoctrinated too. So I'm hoping that somehow we're able to stick to the basics, stick to education. I mean, it's a good thing. You're going to gain popularity, but let's stick to the education that these people are here to bring. Nothing stops a Muslim from coming to a Christian school and getting free education. That's the kind of religion that we want to practice, the kind of love that we were taught as, Christians that we ought to share. So, I mean, these are really my concerns. Well, I think my major concern with this would be sustainability, and I hope that they're able to carry it, forward. We've seen Kemo's own as well. So we're encouraging more and more of this.
Okay, so the school was officially commissioned on Monday, the 15th of September, and it started its activities with about 80 students. Basically, the name of the school is Propeller Schools and everything. The pastor said earlier this year, he hinted about the school's development, only for yesterday for us to hear, okay, it has been commissioned. What do you have to say about this?
You see, this is a very impressive initiative by a private initiative, because we've seen how our schools has been having deficits. Then somebody willingly, nobody forced him. He feel like this is something that this is a gap that needs to be bridged. You see, someone like me, I'm impressed because I would not. One of my concerns is segregation, because even me personally, I went to a Christian school in Ilorin. I went to Ekwa Secondary School, so there was no say. Even though they have their time for religious activities, but nobody forced anybody, and they gave opportunity for others to join. Not necessarily, okay, you must be a Christian
Or
to.
mandatory, yeah.
So I think if they are going to still be on this basis, this is a good thing, and I think this is kudos to this guy, because we've seen how the country is, and this shows that we still have love for one another. We are looking. You see him, we can see he's already rich. So if a typical man can just sit up, everybody now get himself. Since I know I can afford and my people can afford, but it's a beautiful thing for him to look into the activities of others, since they cannot make it. Let me try and help them too. So helping each other will make us grow.
Okay, so Nigerians have praised this initiative, and certain people have come online to challenge bloggers. So Dr. Mary on Twitter said, bloggers will get ready to spread the news. Not be every time when they talk about vigil or when they talk about dragging pastors, you
Bad
will come
news.
out. How about this one? Spread the news. Do you understand? It's always when it is the bad light. Oh, pastor did this, pastor did that, and everything. This one is a commendable feat. Why don't you?
But it's also bad news sells fast. We like to hear controversial
Nigerians
stories.
like hearing bad news. That's why it's to catch their attention.
Nigerians. God will help Nigerians. Moving on to our next story, we have the anti-NSAS lead protesters dies in hotel.
Okay, well, we all know this guy. I think his name was Italics, and he was one of the people that was leading this protest. You know, when Nigerians were protesting NSAS, this guy was one of the people that was leading the why are we protesting? You know, the ones that were saying, why are we protesting? We need to work with government. So a lot of Nigerians and a lot of Nigerian youth saw him as a traitor, and they didn't understand, why a fellow Nigerian will be doing this. So this is a very interesting turn of events, very sad one really, because no, we don't want anybody to die in it. But they said he was lodged in a hotel with his side chick, and he didn't eat according to the stories, and then she gave him energy drink, and he passed from there. Well,
It's basically, I just read this story as a comical relief. What do you have to think about this?
I think his full name was Yunus, and he was 47 years old. Moving on, he even served as Senior Special Assistant on Community Development to the Chairman of AMAC, Abuja Municipal Area Council. This is a very, very sad thing for him. It's a very sad way to die, honestly. I would not want to see. He's not married. Had he made, even married, who would want to die in this kind of circumstance? And when I read deeper, he refused to eat in this circumstance. Come on.
It's not that there was no funds to eat. Like,
You just
willingly was
after you
missing.
put yourself in this. Even though I know that many Nigerians are not happy with him because of what he portrayed during the NSAS protest. He was criticized. Why would people protest? He was an anti-protest, anti-NSAS protest person. But man, Nigerians need to wake up and do better than all these things. Is it that we don't have issues? To the extent he does not have issues, is this how you choose to die? Honestly, come on.
On to the next story, which implies that Nigerians really do not have issues. We are asking, what is cash out? What is cash out when we have an APC lawmaker sharing 224 million in
Please,
cash?
it did not get
Not
to me.
transfer.
attention.
No,
It did not get to me.
Spending.
Where's my own? I've not received my own share. 224 million.
And he's sharing to youths and his childhood friends. So like
Government money.
it has turned it into, and it is laughable. Several Nigerians have come up to the social media and said, this is sad. They are calling AFCC. They are saying, AFCC, no, you see this one, no. AFCC, where are you? If it is to find,
If it's a climb fence,
Yahoo boys,
they will know.
you run kitty kata, and you jump fence and enter. But now, in broad daylight, we saw the heap of money.
Come on, it's quite real. Minto, it's not like it's a brand new money, which signifies
Heaps of
obviously
money.
it's coming from a bank.
Like, do you understand? Is this another form of broad daylight money laundering? Because I don't understand. IG,
And
what do you have
I
to say
honestly
about?
like that you mentioned that the money laundering, because we know how much we suffered, especially in 2023 when the CBN brought out its cashless policy. And then there's an money laundering act that states that you should have you cannot withdraw more than 5 million per day as a corporate entity and more than 500,000 as an individual. So I am wondering, I'm doing the calculation, I'm doing the math. I'm wondering how an individual is able to get 224 million in
Raw
cash.
cash.
How was that possible?
CBN, what's going on?
How was that possible? How many days did it take to withdraw this much money for an individual withdrawing 500k, 500k, 500k? Or as well as a corporate entity, how were you able to withdraw that much cash? And why is nothing being done about it? And then you also raises some other issues, right? The political patronage. This money, and that's another thing altogether. But this money, I'm suspecting, is budgeted for. It's in our national budget for constituency projects. And Oga decides that his constituency project is to share
The money.
cash, share the money. Okay, now that's the political patronage, because you take this money and then you're giving to youths, in quotes. You're giving to your childhood friends that he said they're not really doing what he wants to empower them. But then that's not the way to empower people. It's temporary when you take cash and give to somebody. When you're supposed to be, as a lawmaker, as a member of the house, what you're supposed to be doing is building sustainable infrastructure that these people can continue to reap from. So this is the thing that we see. He goes there and everybody at the end of the day is singing, Honorable, give me this one, or see what they give me today, and everybody's jumping up and down. And then, how much? How much really?
How much actually
How
gets
long?
to the citizens that even need it?
My own is, how long can you spend this money for? And then we can argue that this is tantamount to vote buying, because you're buying these people up in preparation for the next general elections. And what have you done for them since? Nothing. And so we have to discourage this system of political patronage that they come and they give you handouts. How much was budgeted for this constituency? How much is their budget for their constituency project? Why are you taking 224 million? Where is the accountability? How do you account for this money? And so rather than jump up and celebrate this, these people, his people, should probe. They should find out how much was allocated to them in the national budget and what was spent on what. And if he says he's giving out, on what basis, on what grounds? We saw in Kebbi State where they are giving out 300,000, right, to encourage people to go back to school.
Yes.
And
Borno State.
so, yeah, in Borno State. And okay, fine. You put this on a database, you account for it and say, I gave so number of people, youths. Since he says it's youth, they have to fall in within the UN definition of youths. You cannot bring somebody over 50. No. You cannot bring somebody on that. You have to, come and tell us that these are youths. These are the people that we gave money to. These are how we are following them up. This is under this scheme for agriculture, for entrepreneurship, for tech. This is what we're giving them this money for, and this is what they have achieved. There has to be a way of following. This is very brazen. It is impunity at its finest, and we have to completely, honestly discourage this kind of acts.
Um, I know you are always quick to, throw light on APC, because this is an APC lawmaker, right? This is an APC lawmaker brazenly sharing money, distributing it in public, where instead of investing in other sustainable development ventures for the state. What do you have to, like? How far would this money go? Who will actually? What is their distribution system for this money? He claims he's going to distribute it in cash and carry, basically. So is everybody going to come to his house to collect the funds, or how is he doing this? Is he going to go on the street and start sharing it bundle by bundle? How do you think?
Honorable member. You see, honorable, the election is fast approaching. Election is fast. I feel like is this another angle of vote buy? Election is fast approaching. Remember, I think his name is Honorable Jafar Abubakar Magaji, representing Moody's North, Moody's South, and Maiha Federal Constituency of Adamawa State. If you want to empower people, what happened to scholarships? What happened to there are people in school? Definitely, there are people in school.
At least
There's
we
the
just
children
heard
of the
about the
poor.
pastor that
If you
built
want
school.
that money, you want it to reach people. Okay, fine. You put everybody on scholarship. Universities, college of education, polytechnics. You put them on scholarship. Okay, everybody should come and collect the scholarship of 20, 30,000. Okay, you can even get 224 million. You can round 50,000. I'm pretty sure in Adamawa there are places in that his constituency that do not have access to water. There are farmers that if you want to empower, there are old women if you want to empower, but you are carrying huge amount of money given to your friends. And before anything is anybody they give the money, you do snap picture. How did my own main problem? How did he have access to such brand new notes? When you don't, you barely see them on the street. If you go to bank, I think everybody has a withdrawal limit, daily withdrawal limit. How can somebody like this have access to that huge amount of money?
In
200,
cash.
almost a billion naira in raw cash, brand new raw cash. While people are there suffering, Nigeria were complaining about. This is part of the problem that happened in Nepal. This, how could you are posting something like this on social media? These are the people that voted for you. Carry this money, construct. There are schools there that are not. You can rehabilitate these schools. You can put people on entrepreneurship skill. Let them the skill acquisition programs. But rather than carrying this money, if you give me that money, I'll go and buy BMW. Honestly, if the money, because how would you carry somebody that's not working already?
Mhm.
You're giving him 100,000, 200,000. What would he do? It's for him to go and
Buy for
buy suya, wear better cap. Honestly, there are things they need to do better, and they should. They said I read where it was day before yesterday. I was complaining where INEC was saying about
sticking to the timelines.
thank you. This is a campaign strategy. Honestly, I see it. It's a whole blueprint of a campaign strategy, and I think they said there's a limit for everybody doing campaign. So I think you've already spent 224 out of your own money. So I think you should know.
This is
You
not his
spent
money. This is his constituency.
so,
It's money
our
that
money.
belongs to his constituency.
Like
EFCC.
taxpayers' money. So he has already spent 224. So you should know. You have just small remaining. So I think the federal government they should look how would you even carry to money raw cash be given people? They say
Okay.
constituency project. Is that your own project?
No vex,
Money for
Mohammed.
suya.
It's okay. Calm down. Calm down.
They need to
Don't mind them. Sorry.
they need to shall I give me my share? I need my own
On to our next story, we have the US cuts imports by 41%. Now, the United States has reduced imports from Nigeria by 41% in 2025. And Nigeria's exports to the US are mostly crude oil, liquefied natural gas, some agricultural products, and all that. So, this cut, does it mean that the US is trying to diversify um, there are other supplies of this particular product, or is it that Nigeria is
So I think, right, since Trump came in, everybody has been sitting on edge. They've been worried, what next? What's he going to do next? There's been a lot of concerns, really. And one of the things that they cited as their reasons were Nigeria's economic policies. Baba has been rolling out policies back to back, tax reforms. There's a lot that has been going out. And these people are saying that the economic policies of Nigeria are one of the, amongst other things, right? So a US court recently highlighted that Nigeria's policy is unpredictable and that, they cited things like arbitrary tax regimes, sudden import bans as reasons, and they said these are reasons for trade risk. And this is, those very organized, this is what they are saying. And we saw it here yesterday, we were looking at the tax, that was the tax reform
reversed?
that was reversed, right? I mean, I think it was more that was asking whether they just come to it's a beer
They will
parlor
drink
discussion,
tea and just wake
just
up and
come drink
push.
tea and come up with these policies without thinking them through. And then it's just very ironical that he just mentioned it. And today we are seeing that the US is saying that these are some of the reasons, right? That they are, our policies are some of the reasons that they are cutting back. And you now wonder when you're making these policies, do you take into consideration certain things, or do you just come and make this these policies arbitrarily. And the fact that international community is now also viewing us as making random policies, or we wake up one morning, we say, oh, we are banning this. Tomorrow we are banning shea butter, we are no more exporting raw shea. Oh, today, no more foreign rice. Arbitrarily, like we wake up one morning to favor, like people have alleged, to favor certain people, that sometimes these are done. But we don't think about the consequences. And the consequences, for example, now, is that US has 41%. That's almost half.
Huge.
So, and in 1 month, we moved from, I'm looking for the figures, but we moved from over 607 something million to 397 in just 1 month. So that's a lot of FDI lost, a lot of, as a time like this where we are looking for more foreign direct investments, we are losing this much. Just imagine what that does to our Naira. And we want our Naira to stabilize. We should be thinking about the policies that we are putting out before we put them out, really.
Muhammad, I want to ask this question because, you know, the US bringing this up, it's that particular point of they can't trust our tax laws, and our tax laws are very, very unpredictable. Isn't that what do you call this word, hypocritical, coming from the US? I mean, we saw the whole drama with China recently and other nations, and then they're coming out to say this. Don't you think that this is a bit of a witch hunt and shouldn't be met sitting down? So it does the same way in China and give them bass boost. How far Nigeria?
We're Nigeria.
You see.
But we're not small, giant of Africa.
Giant of Africa, as you see. You see, honestly, I would say even though there's patterns for it being hypocritical, but there's an atom of truth in the conversation. If you see, we have this government is making the economy unstable. We're having like shaky economy. Like I said last week, today they'll bring this tax, tomorrow they'll remove it. You might wake up tomorrow and hear that for you being alive, there's 5% tax for you, just for you to breathe. Honestly, at this point, I'll not be surprised. At this point, I'll not be surprised. Anything is possible with this government. So you see, unlike Nigeria, unlike China, there's nothing there's no house that you cannot point out 5 or 6 things produced in China, made in China. It's impossible for you in every house for you to present any less than 5 something that's made in China. But can you say so? So you see, them, even when they were having their whole issues, China was, they know they've arrived. Unlike us, I think we have not even started our trip. Talk less of arriving. So
I think to move to production.
There's this, but honestly, this has its own advantage. This shows that Nigeria, this is a wake-up call for you to come and build your own system rather than always you can refine things.
No, but this is our export, really. Yeah. This is our export.
What do we heavily rely on the export? It's crude oil.
Crude oil. So
you see, there are other things. This means
but there's also agriculture too.
The way the so-called governor farmer said. So honestly, this is a wake-up call for Nigeria. Not to only rely on oil. There are other things. You can export talent. We've seen musicians. We've seen sports. We have agriculture.
We should also look at exporting to other countries as well.
Countries,
and then maybe
this is an opportunity for you to mingle with other countries.
We should push for the BRIC. We should push to join BRIC at this point.
On the other hand, it might have its own
because there are other things that tend us. But moving on to our next story, we have Nnamdi Kanu seeking for transfer from the DSS custody to National Hospital. So basically, the Nnamdi Kanu, leader of IPOB, has been in DSS custody since 2021, facing trial for treasonable charges. And then his lawyers claim his health has deteriorated, prompting a request for transfer to the National Hospital, Nigeria. First of all, I want to ask, what is with the DSS and detaining him for this long? No trial. No, nothing. He's just there in their custody. Doing what?
Like I said last week, coming back, I told you our judicial system, I think we don't only need to review our legislative arm of government, even the judicial. This case has been going on for a long while. We've seen how Simon Ekpa's case was concluded in a very short period of time. You people should review this man's case. If you want to jail him, jail him. If you want to free, but he didn't allow him live and you didn't allow him die. And I think the government they should be like a special medical treatment. If you don't want to move him to the national hospital, okay, fine. Then you should offer him proper. Even though I don't support you moving him out of the correctional facility, but I think you people should provide him with special treatment. Honestly,
No, but this is giving.
of-
I
point
no
of
go front,
correction.
I no go back.
he's
I know
entitled
mean
He's
to
not in
this.
a correctional facility as of yet.
Where is he? He's
He's
with
in
the
DSS
He's
custody.
in custody, oh, please. He hasn't been tried. He hasn't been nothing. He has been in DSS custody since 2021.
I
If you
think
have
the government
if you have
needs to-
allegations against him, if you have evidence against this particular charges that you have against him, try him in court. It's as simple as that.
I'm going to be as unbiased as possible because I think I'm the only one here, but I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. Nnamdi Kanu was accused of terrorism, terrorism charges. I am not a lawyer. I am not the judge. I'm not in the best place to judge or decide the outcome of the case. We leave that with the appropriate authorities to decide.
Honestly,
However, like we said, Simon Ekpa has been tried, case
I understand.
concluded. We would love to see that with him. But then let me speak to this particular issue on ground, right? There's allegations that the DSS facility, the medical facility, is not standard, so it's not somewhere that he can be treated. And there's a medical report that's saying that this guy has liver, there's kidney, there's an abnormal swelling. They also sometime before mentioned something about his heart. There is not, even in Western countries, when there are criminals, they are treated. Even in they are treated, and then they face trial. That's how it's done. We cannot, because everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So at this point, in the eyes of the law, this man is innocent. He has not been tried. So he's innocent until proven guilty. At least let him be fit enough. Let him not die inside there. Number one is because there's a political tension surrounding this particular case. We want to see, people don't trust the state authorities. And we don't want to now say, okay, there's a way they are managing this. In 2021, I can't remember when exactly, but Sheikh Zaki, he was flown abroad. He was granted medical bail, and he traveled abroad to take care of his health. Came back to Nigeria and still faced, was still there. They took him back. My own is, I have nothing against the DSS holding him. I have nothing against the state government or prosecuting him on terrorism charges. However, against a man that has a medical report saying that he has health challenges, allow him to get the care that he needs. And then they said, I think they've heard the case now, and they said the vacation judge is, the courts are on recess now, so it's the vacation judge that is sitting now. They said the vacation judge lacks the jurisdiction to hear this case, so they are not even going to hear the motion. However, that's where I'm worried, because shouldn't the life of a human being supersede this? That's what is a human life? What in this country? Shouldn't his life supersede, whatever? And why shouldn't his case be treated? Why can't an exception be made? Can't he be attended to? Let him be all right, and then let him face charges. That's, for me, that's really it. And then it should be handled as transparently as possible, so that even the people that say they are IPOP, they can see that the government is handling this in the best way possible. Because any small thing, I know they had Nigerians, they will say they've assassinated him. Yes. They make him a martyr. They turn him into a martyr overnight. And then there's that political unrest that we have been trying to avoid, that DSS has been writing letter up and down. Now it will happen. They should manage this better, because they've even denied the claims that there's anything wrong with him. But they should be more transparent. Let this man seek medical help. And when he does seek medical help and he's okay, then he can face the charges.
My advice to the DSS is, don't allow him die in custody. Take him to the hospital. He demands health care and everything. Take him. Do not let the situation escalate from what it already is before it be beyond control. Moving on to our next story, we see a wanted bandit present in peace talks in Katsina as Shegumi warns the army on provoking terrorists. I don't understand. The Sheikh is warning the army.
Although there's no
It's not the first time.
context.
It's very, very, Shegumi is very controversial. You can love him or you hate him, but then he's being, because
He's giving, don't provoke me to anger.
but he's been introduced a lot, right? Because he has access to these people. He's able to negotiate. And I think there was a time that they said we were going to call him to come and explain, how he's able to access these people. But how is he able to access and you people don't have access? I mean, this is one man. Well, how is he able to access and you don't have access?
What happened to our intelligence agency? Is it to be picking up people from the street up and down and slapping honorable?
Now they don't go to meeting now, peace talks, and they said you should come, let's dialogue for peace. As violence did not work, let's go for peace. They've tried violence, they've outmatched our military, they are still killing, their reprisal attacks, left, right, center. And so the people at the end of the day, nobody wants to be statistics. I think that's it. We might argue, and a lot of people were arguing online and saying, why are they dialoguing with bandits? Say we don't negotiate with terrorists. But at the end of the day, Nigerians are willing to negotiate with terrorists when it concerns them, when it concerns your siblings, your father. If they kidnap your brother or they kidnap your sister, and somebody now tells you, don't pay, police will tell you, don't pay ransom, you will pay. It's easy for you to sit down and say, don't pay. But when it concerns your own blood, you will pay. And that is the sad truth. Especially knowing that there's a possibility that these security agencies might not be able to rescue your loved one. They might not be able to go in there. Your loved one might end up dead. A lot of people will pay. And this is the reality. So it might be easy for us to say, don't negotiate with terrorists. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? But there are people involved. And there are people that are dying every day. Well, you can say 7 killed. But those 7 are people's fathers, people's brothers, people's sisters, people's mothers. And they have families that want to protect them. And these people are willing to come to the table and say, please, how can we reach a middle ground so that our people stop dying? For the people in these states, this is their paramount concern. It's very interesting that it's in Katsina State that this is happening, home of former President Buhari, but this is the reality that people are living every day. As to the actual negotiation itself, I don't know how realistic it is. So, just yesterday in Zamfara State, whilst they are still trying to do negotiation, they are attacking another place. So how viable, how sustainable is this? And the fact that a wanted criminal, wanted means people are looking for him up and down.
Criminals,
because it was more than one. So how is it that wanted criminals that people are searching for up and down, casually walking into a peace meeting and sit down, available to dialogue? And then I think about it, and as an individual who might have, imagine the locals, the community, and you see somebody who is responsible for killing your loved one sitting there as a stakeholder.
Royal
as
meeting.
A stakeholder.
He's not in cuffs, he's not in chains,
nothing.
Not in bonds.
And they are debating on how to move forward when justice has not been served. How does that make you feel as an individual? So these are the issues. And Shekumi is coming to say, you should not aggravate these people, because it's coming from a position of, let us, people come first. Human life comes first. We cannot continue to play politics with the lives of our citizens. That's the honest truth. We can't continue to play politics with the life of our citizens, and we need to find a sustainable solution. The sustainable solution in this case, to me, might not necessarily be dialogue. We need to beef up our security. We need to make sure that these people are well armed, they are well trained, and they're armed to carry out the duties that they have chosen voluntarily to do. Support them in any way that we can, and not politicize the lives of people.
Muhammad, do you think this form of dialogue is a form of emboldening bandits and terrorists? Because imagine someone that just killed, like she said, him, like he's granted dialogue. They brought him to the table and everything. Is it a form of we see in the past where terrorists are being rehabilitated. Now they are engaging them in dialogues, and people where they're supposed don't put for bar and everything. What do you have to say about it?
You see, firstly, coming from somebody that is Fulani, according to the 19th, he's ranked the 19th terrorist in Nigeria, Gawa. He said there's a stereotype amongst Fulanis, which honestly I understand the point is coming from. Not that I support him, but I understand maybe when you tell people, you're Fulani, they'll be like, you people, please,
Headsman.
yeah. So he said the Fulanis do not have the same opportunities as everybody. But does that still justify you attacking other people? No, it does not.
And your own people.
And the funny thing is, they are talking about the Fulanis. They still attack the fellow Fulanis. It's not even probably, okay, I'm a Fulani, I attack. Even the Fulanis, they attack. Because even the town that they had the dialogue yesterday, the Faskari town, it's a Fulani town. And that's the place that they entered, they attack people. And we've seen this dialogue happen not once, not twice, not 3 times. Last week, there was an attack in a mosque where they attacked 50 people. The bandits that the kingpin of that attack was present. How do you expect me to sit in a table where I'm seeing somebody that hurts me? It's impossible. And this, like I just said yesterday, we saw it was this morning I was reading it. The peace talk that was held in Zamfara yesterday, people were still attacked. 55 people were abducted. In the same place that they held a dialogue, they held a conversation with these people. Okay, we're having a peace talk. So does this show that our security agencies are weak? Have these people overpowered our security agencies? You know, for me to use a better example, if I beat you today, I'll tell you to go and send your elder brother. I'll beat him. That means I've already dominated. There's nothing you can do. That's almost what the bandits are trying to prove. Okay, we will do our worst. We will come and have dialogue, and we'll still do our worst again and see what you people can do.
And then
what does this put us? What position is this putting us?
These people know this.
They know them because there was a video.
Why is there a liaison between our military forces and the locals? Why are we still on this subject? The locals know the people responsible.
But they are afraid.
You know, that's it. Because you see these people threaten them. Okay, there was a community.
And they are more present than some of this military.
Thank you. When a bandits attack is happening, probably until these attacks used to last for 5-6 hours, some days, there will not be any security response.
They might not be there. They might not. Then these people have intel because, like you said, they are locals. They have intel. They have people that will tell them things. How did they know that peace talk is holding? Who sent invitation card? Who sent invitation card to them? But they know. And some of these people are running a complete parallel government from the states. They are collecting tax.
You see, just like I said, DSS, this is the places you people are supposed to be for. Now, like this, if someone like me would insult a government official, you know, we saw it. We saw this instance last regime. May God have mercy on the former president. We saw when a student insulted his wife. They went to the school. The DSS, he said the moment they came, they just blacked him out. And the next thing he just opened his eye he was in the presence of the first lady, the former first lady.
Just like that.
But these are bandits that post on TikTok, post on Facebook. But you don't know where to get. They are even doing giveaway. They are doing giveaway on TikTok. But you people do not know where to track these people. I think, we need to do better. Because I'm not expecting any positive thing from this peace talk. Because we've seen this thing, it's a repetition. It's like a loop that keeps happening. Peace talk, tomorrow attack. Peace talk, tomorrow attack.
Like we are playing where people are getting killed every day.
Except if I see a difference with this peace talk, which the one in Zamfara I've already proved wrong. So I don't have high hopes on this. Except if I'm going to see a change this time. Honestly.
Our military is overstretched. So. Something needs to be done. There needs to be a serious.
And not to put the whole blame on the military. You people should provide. If you cannot send me on a long trip and tell me, okay, take bicycle. It's impossible. You provide me with proper transportation. If you are sending,
there's a security budget.
A very huge budget
for every state.
A very huge budget. Is this a very, very, very huge budget?
Every state has a security vote.
And
What
there's
is
a
it
big
being
budget
spent on?
for the military and paramilitary. Then if you want to send these people have families who, if you are going to send a military person to bush to go and fight bandits, then provide him with weapons, not weapon that he'll go and will be jamming. Provide him with enough ammunition. Not when he sees a bandit, you have to tell him, okay, you have to get a call back before you. Honestly, you need to provide these people with better ammunition, because these people are overpowering our. A bandit will come and lay an operation. It will happen maybe since 10 in the morning. 10 tomorrow, he'll be there. He'll come today. He'll come tomorrow. He'll come next tomorrow to show you that I have asserted dominance and there's nothing you can do. This is a blow to our face, the giant of Africa. Honestly, we need to. It's the same Nigeria that used to.
In the entire
This is the same Nigeria that was exporting soldiers to Sierra Leone to go and do peacekeeping. But now we cannot even keep peace in our own entity. Honestly, it's a wake-up call.
It basically makes the whole rumor and controversy about the whole corruption and where these terrorists are being sponsored from, and it's glaring.
How they have access to this ammunition.
We won't say anything, but we're looking at the government. Our eyes are on you. Keep the peace. Do the right thing. We are tired of these rhetorics.
So that people will not take up arms soon.
Honestly,
to defend themselves,
because it's I think there are certain people that were, even certain officials that were saying at this point you have to, even the chief of army staff, chief of defense staff, a few weeks ago, he was saying at this point it's like people need to start defending themselves. So
if they can't defend us, they should just tell us.
Honestly, because there's no way somebody come out. How would you feel chased from your own house 3 a.m. in the morning? Honestly,
and we have trusted.
It's not right.
Our military to protect us.
Honestly,
if they claim they cannot do the job, just
we'll protect them too.
We'll protect ourselves. We'll protect you as well. Moving on a lighter note, please. Things were getting very, very tense up. On a lighter note, we heard that the doctor abandoned patient mid-surgery to sleep with a nurse.
I don't know how this is lighter.
In summary, honestly,
it's funny because when I read it, it was funny. It was funny to me.
It's funny because nobody died.
Please be.
It's funny because nobody died.
In the UK. Because if it's in Nigeria, we'll flog you.
No,
honestly,
no.
We'll flog you.
I think we should not even start that comparison, because this happened in the UK. You can imagine. Do you know how the strict oversight that is there in the UK? Do you know the strict measures that they put on these people? And yet it happened. You can imagine that in Nigeria, worse would have happened, and worse just happened.
But
Nigeria.
Honestly, what is going on? What is going on?
Normally we hear about the promiscuity of doctors and nurses in the health sector, and then now we're talking about somebody. Okay, we're talking about somebody, a doctor and a nurse mid-surgery. This is a point where the patient is at risk to so much infection,
life or death,
and you left the patient that you were supposed to be performing surgery on and said it is time for a quickie. It's the perfect time.
What type of crazy fantasy is this?
What goes on in this nation? What is even in their mind? Is it that they are turned on? What are their kinks really?
But honestly, I think they should withdraw his license.
No, I think they have already. They have, and my guy,
the person that saw it, the person was
in another theater. It wasn't even in it was in another theater. He left for a comfort break. 8 minutes, a whole 8 minutes passed, and this patient was still under anesthesia. And then the nurse went to look for him and then found him. No, but I saw so many parallels with Nigeria, because if it was a Nigerian nurse, best believe that I would have seen the video on the internet. That's the honest truth. So I'm like, I saw the parallels immediately, the way that at least their basic dignity was protected. We did not see any
privacy protection.
No, we didn't see any of that, and the story was still passed. Nigerians take a cue. I know you want to turn reporter, I know you want to break the stories, but we should be able to protect people's privacy and not put certain things out there. Not everything has to be seen. And I think they even said this is low risk. They deemed him low risk when the tribunal sat, and I think he's Pakistani. He went back to Pakistan and practiced. So I'm like, okay, so this happened in the UK, and he's going back to Pakistani. He can practice in Pakistan. Okay, does this offense not cross the border? because
I think this
that's what
is
I'm
this is a
wondering.
global offense, honestly, because this anywhere it happens, you should be punished. There's nothing like, okay, you killed somebody in Nigeria, does that mean you are free in UK? This is something that people need to honestly.
It's a serious offense.
Because
if you
how
ask
would you
me.
you're a doctor, a patient is there in a situation of life or death, but you prioritize your own
He
pleasure.
said he had problems with his wife.
And so
Obviously, I can see why you have problems with your wife.
because why would you? No, don't. He might have his own problem with his wife, but at least you do not. Come on.
This is inexcusable,
It's
really.
then what if the patient is dead when you went
What if
away?
there were complications?
Honestly,
It was
but
seriously slacking on duty.
as
It
in,
is
you know,
grossly
we've been
irresponsible.
Gross
honestly, there's
misconduct.
this whole rumor of this kind of thing always happening in the hospital.
But it's very rare in a country like UK because they have very strict measures. So
Sure.
I'm wondering if it was Nigeria,
As a nurse,
probably nothing
both
would have
honestly,
happened
not
because they
even him,
gamble with people's
not
lives every day.
not even him. Both him and the nurse needs to
It needs to be
honestly
sanctioned.
be
Well, my
sanctioned.
license is going to be
Honestly,
revoked.
because this should serve as a lesson to
For me,
others.
this is a call for oversight on our own in our own country. This is a call for oversight in Nigeria. We have seen what other countries are doing. Look what a developed country can do.
Look,
Focus. Look what a please
Yeah.
let's do for our own too. When
Honestly.
people are seeing doctors that are doing certain things that will come waltzing by 11 a.m. and they are life-threatening issues.
Situation.
They're serious
And I
issues.
think,
There are patients sitting there waiting for people, emergency cases. Doctor casually waltzes in. And this is not a complete trying to shift the blame entirely on the doctors, because I heard from some doctors that sometimes they would finish from the hospital by 7 a.m. They cannot even see. They are so tired and they are bringing in another patient, and they already know that if they are going to touch this patient, they might likely lose this patient. So it's
I mean,
better
we
for
heard
them
of
to rest.
a doctor that slumped and died.
And that doctor could have taken a rest at that point. But if that doctor had taken a rest, now still us go come say, why didn't you attend to this patient? So
So
somehow,
this really points out to the inefficient number
the healthcare, our
health care members. And I will give a very good thumbs up to the person that reported, even though it was his colleague. He saw somebody that reports this kind of situation, even though it was his colleague. He did not hesitate to, okay, let me cover up, but since he knew it was wrong, so he had to call him to order. Honestly, that was a good one.
Doctors did the misconduct in UK, and Nigerian doctors still collect basbos. I'm here to defend you, Nigerian doctors. You guys are trying. You guys actually try. Because I actually have doctor friends, and they barely have nurses, doctors. They barely have
try the
time
ones
to
that are not your
themselves
friends.
and everything. So I'm here to support you guys. You guys are trying, but the ones that are not trying, try harder. You understand? They are hearing you. We see you every day. We get to see you misbehave. My bad.
Take
I
that
won't
back.
say it.
Take that
Yeah, I
back.
was supposed to be complimenting. I don't know how I slept. My bad. Moving on to the content creator who welcomes her third child, Maraji. Maraji has been so inspirational. I remember far back as 2016, she was one of the first content creators, one of the first ever content creators I saw on social media. And her skits and everything. I think at some point she even featured in Fauzi's music video too. They did a song and everything. And then, somehow we are forgetting the OGs, the new young bloods have come out. We've forgotten the OGs that
Even
kept
though
it running
some
for
OGs
us.
are not
Kept
ready
us
to run.
laughing during those periods, during those trying times. I mean, those were really trying times. Anyways, but now she welcomes her third child. Is it because people have been asking her, because it has been back to back. Before I know, she gave birth to one. Before I know, she gave birth to the second one. Before I know, now she gave birth to the third one. What do you have to say about it? Since
She
you're a
has
mother.
a girl. I'm so happy. Like when you say marriage is the OG, marriage is legit the OG. Like I
She
remember
was the first person,
oh
I
my
think, to do
God.
a double skits.
Yeah,
She was the first
she was
person.
so, and she's very funny, effortlessly hilarious. I love Maraji, and to see her transition into a mom from the Maraji that we knew to a mom is very, very inspirational. I saw her when she had the first child, and she was very open with her struggles with PCOS at that time. And I think, from going to having PCOS to having 3 kids, like it's a lot. It's hope to a lot of women who are going through stuff that have reproductive health challenges. it's a big deal. And I'm very, very happy that she was open, she was transparent, she carried all her online family along. But she had the first child, and then she came out to say, I don't know how it happened, number 2. And then again, from nowhere, number 3, come on.
Out of the blue. Probably there might be something in the air. There might be something
I
in the
think
air.
the back to back is wonderful. I mean, she can move past the childbearing. If you watch her skits now, she's also transitioning. You see that her comedy is transitioning as well. And then she's just moved, and she's now a mom, and she has passed that stage from PCOS to 3 kids. It's a very huge transition, and we're super happy for her. I like when female content creators, especially the very funny ones, Kiki, Taoma, like seeing them that they are just in this new phase and still being them. And in all of this, they have still maintained their brand. They are still working. They are still doing their content that people love. It's wonderful. It shows that you can really do it all. As women, we can do it all.
Basically, I also watched, recently she did a skit about, the benefits of pregnancy, that you can go into a place and they say you can sit down, you can have my seat, what's going on, and everything. I did not know that this was
I can confirm this.
I did not know that she loved that experience so much. That is it because of that experience, that nice experience, that she said, okay, let me go for a third one. I need to experience all this. I thought she was
I think the experience for the 8 months, depending, because every pregnancy is different, every woman is different. Some have high risk, complicated, but when you have a very smooth pregnancy, trust me, you're going to enjoy that privilege, that added privilege. Of you enter somewhere.
She can ask her husband at any point in time, even midnight, buy me this one, and you get
eat,
it.
and nobody will ask you why
That's
you're
the kind
eating.
of thing you want.
Nobody asks you why you're eating. But you see that last month, when labor hits you, you will forget the 8 months immediately. So I think she would have considered everything, but I think more importantly, maybe the way she looks at her kids, she's like, I think I want another one.
Yeah, actually, at the end of the day, when you look at it, you realize that it's worth it.
Yeah.
You do it all over again. But some people say, guys that try to compare labor pain to being hit and everything, they say that women say that it's painful, but if you give them chance, they will do it again. But men say it's painful, but if you give them chance, they would not like to experience that pain
That's
again.
completely different. If you hit a man and you have a baby after, I'm sure he will do it again.
Ouch.
I am sure you would.
Ouch.
No, if they hit you and you had a baby after, would you not do it again?
Maybe.
Do you understand? That's exactly how it is. The reason, if you go through labor as a woman and there will be no baby after, you think anybody will go through that again?
Kudos to you, man.
She
Congratulations.
said this is the last one. I think she was saying something about poor people giving birth up and down. After 3 she's done.
Congratulations.
And that was with money, please.
Congratulations.
When you, I don't know how many children we want to have, but just how many kids would you like?
Maybe.
Why is it like you have 5?
Maybe 5, maybe 7. Maybe don't,
7.
Congratulations,
That's a lot.
For one woman.
One woman. Wow, that's very wonderful. Okay. AFN again.
Let me not smile because this is a personal issue to me.
Again, a fresh scandal.
Again,
But they have to say fresh scandal because they have always another one.
They renew their subscription.
As athletes, Samuel Ogazi drags their body. And then they drag them again. What did they do? What are they doing? So the Nigerian Athletics Federation faces another crisis as the young sprinter Samuel Ogazi publicly accused the body of mismanagement. This is not the first time that they're talking about mismanagement.
This is
we
not
talked
the
about
second.
it yesterday. And now again we're talking, another person is coming out to say it. So that means this is actually true. So many people have been coming out to say it.
Toby Amusa has accused them.
I think
Blessing Okagbere has accused them of mismanagement, of not treating the athletes well. What else do we need?
it's
I mean,
probably
there's
probably
can be gem.
at
Even
this
if not
point,
gem, by now, if I don't start
as
by
they know,
now.
even Tiger Gen, they no drag
I
and
tell ya.
like this. Honestly, you people need this. You people need serious warning because 1, 2. It's not the people. It's you.
Okay, please
You are
play
the
that
problem.
video. Yeah, watch the video.
You are the problem. I think there was a video from
First of all, I told Team Nigeria officials I wasn't prepared for this race because my hamstring is bothering me, but they still insist that I should go run. So I did what I could, and that's the outcome. Yeah.
What do you mean by you weren't prepared? Can you explain a bit further on that?
On Monday, On Monday back home, I had a very good practice. I felt ready. I flew here on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I went for a shakeout, and I felt some tweak or I don't know, some shaking on my hamstring. And I don't run with injuries. Everybody who knows me knows I don't run with injury. So I told them, I think the day before yesterday, I'm not prepared for this. I don't think I could do anything if I go out there. But they said, just go out there and give it your all. And first, I didn't even warm up properly. I didn't do anything properly. So yeah.
Would you actually have been willing to sit out this race as a world championship? This is your first world championship.
Yeah, I was willing to sit out. I was very, very much willing to sit out. During the warm up, I spoke with the doctor. He taped my leg. I told him, I'm not ready. I know I'm not feeling healthy and strong yet. Right now, I'm not feeling healthy and strong. I don't know, maybe coupled with the fact that I was diagnosed with COVID 2 weeks ago. I don't know, but yeah.
Kabiru, what do you have to say about this? I mean, they know they drag this. They never tire.
Honestly, personally, I've even dragged them. But it's like I'll tie rope on their leg. The way we used to do for Salaram, I'll drag them well. This week, we've had different problems. Last week, upper week, them, AFN. Even if na money you don't do, your name keeps popping up. From giving these people not proper quality clothing to mismanaging players, athletes. Why? Why? Where is the problem?
I think looking at this
Where's the
particular
problem?
video,
At this point, shouldn't the federal government come in, because there have been so
They-
many outcries.
honestly, they need
Like
to
they
look
should,
into
they should
it.
meet with these people. You put people in place. The AFN, they set up a community to take charge of this, and then you have been calling them out for mismanagement. Isn't it for a responsible government?
Honestly,
Is this not the points where you call them and say, what's going on, or you sack everybody there and
that's
put in new
honestly
people?
because
For
you people
God's
are not
sake.
doing well. They are not doing well. The
before-
system is not good.
I think there's even a hierarchy before you even start. President Asubila is far. What happened to
Honestly.
the Ministry of Sports?
Honestly,
I don't understand. Like, what happened to the Ministry of Sport? They should take this up first of all. You watch this video. This guy is clearly
He
that he
complained.
cannot run.
she complained.
He wouldn't, and even though he has set a new world record, he said that he wouldn't have done it because at the end of the day, life first. He didn't want to run with an injury. Which one is go and try your best?
Imagine,
Go and do your
The
best.
gods are with
No
you.
health insurance.
And,
No,
and you know
Nothing.
the funny thing, you know what they're going to tell him when he does this and comes out is, Shebi will tell you.
Honestly.
They're going to even use it and brag. But then you forget that how much are we paying these people really? These people have careers outside the country. And this is the kind of thing that discourages people. So they are dragging them. If it's not Mikel, it's Toby. If it's not Toby, it's Blessing. If it's not Blessing, it's Samuel. Even small Pikin. He's a teenager. Small Pikin on the dragon. Like,
Tomorrow I might
it's
be the
not
one
making
dragging
sense.
themselves because honestly,
It's
they are
It's not
not
making
trying.
sense. At this point, something should be done. This calls for an urgent intervention. If you're not taking their money, like you're dragging their money, you're dragging them in the mud, you're giving them substandard kits, please.
Honestly.
We have heard, we don't want to hear
Honestly.
AFN again.
See, if
For the rest of
their
the game, we don't want
chairman,
to hear AFN
if I
again.
hear from first now, I'm giving you 3 months. I don't want to hear your news. The only
Ultimatum.
news that I want to
Today
hear
is
is
16th
you
of
people have
September.
16th of September until December 16. I don't want to hear your name on the news again. And this is
Except
because
if it is
I'm
something
tired.
commendable.
Yes.
That's the only thing that I would accept.
Sure.
But from now till December,
You don't hear
And
them. Keep it
They don't want you
So-
now.
serious warning.
We're ending our show on a sad note. So, single mom loses a child to a father in Delta. I think we have the video of that. Do we have that? Oh, we don't. Okay, so we have a video of that, and please play it for them because I really do not want to tell you the whole story. I do not want to water down the whole effect of the story. So basically, the woman in question took her child to her baby daddy's house for the holidays, and only for her to hear that her child has died and been buried, because she has been demanding to see her child, and they took the child over for holidays and everything, and then she has been demanding to see the child. They said, okay, the child is better off here, don't take the child back again. She said that this child will soon need to resume, as at 7th, she was like, the child needs to come back so that she can resume school. And then the child has said that she wants to go back home. I don't know what has been happening, but she said she wanted to go back home, but to no avail. Until, you know, she pressed and pressed and said, okay, and demanded to see her child. And then they said they've buried the child. Please play that video for us.
I think
It's a very, very deplorable, it's really saddening to find out you sent out your child for this, and then you come back and then you start hearing stories, they have buried your child. For what? How do you bury someone's child without her being present? How does that work? We are hearing stories that, okay, rumors that he took his wife basically because her baby daddy is married. So in the DSS custody, he alleged that his wife cooked a meal and she made it. Basically, it was what they call his name? It was an activist that was telling this narration. So she made this particular food for them, and then the thing was turning his stomach, breakfast, and was turning his stomach. Then he drank palm oil. After he drank palm oil, he went to work, but his daughter also ate from this same food. And then she died basically. So we are hearing rumors of poison and everything, and then we heard also stories from the woman. She said that she left the house a week. The wife of this man, she left the wife a week ago, and when she left the house, the girl was still alive. So I'm hearing stories here and there. What is the story really? Was it a case of abuse and trying to hide this whole story? What really is the story?
I don't know. I'm going to talk as a mom. I don't know what the story is. I've read the stories, I've seen the comments and all. However, I don't care. I don't care. This is a child that she gave birth to that she's raised for 13 years. You now come one day, they say they not see. And this is why sometimes when you see parents or a single mom that is raising her child, and they say you're not allowing the father of the child into your life, you did not.
That's the narrative.
It's better you say that. It's better, call me a bad person. It's better you spin that narrative and that child is alive. Because this girl had no reason. This is a man that has not been in her life for 13 years. And then the one summer, the one vacation she gets to spend with you, this is how it ends. How do you, and the woman, I watched this video, I was very angry when I was listening to her talk. When she was saying, you know, she made the mistake. She had this girl at a very young age. Yes, she has made the mistake. She realized that this man was not good enough for her. It is her prerogative. The man is not good enough to be her partner, but you cannot deny him his right as a father. However, she has been raising this child. She tried to remarry. It didn't work. You know how difficult it is for single moms to find another, you know, to get married and settled in Nigeria. She found somebody else, got married, the marriage scattered and all. So this has been her reason to leave. She said she does everything. She does all sorts of odd jobs to raise her child. And then she now comes and gives you this child for one. And this raises the issue with shared custody, right? Because why, as in, how can't you look after one child? And this is not the first time. This is not the first time there's a story about this lady that, you know, her daughter had long hair. She had brand deals for her daughter. And then her daughter went to go and spend a week with her father in her father's house, and her father's new wife, she said she did not make the hair for the daughter that week. She usually makes the hair. She did not make the hair that week. The daughter went to go and spend time in her father's house. The father's wife cut her hair. After how? You got my child's hair.
As how now?
That's how. Do you understand? And this is the thing. We women, we know ourselves. Some women can be very, can be very bitter.
Diabolical.
Can be very, very bitter because it's not your child.
That's jealousy.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, because it's not your child. And so as women, you should be very protective of your child. If the man has another wife, you should have, I know a single mom that insists that if her husband wants to meet with her child, the husband has to carry her along. Anywhere you're taking this child to, I am there. They will say she's overbearing, she's this, but at the end of the day, it's better to be called an overbearing woman than the mother of the dead child.
13-year-old.
I'm very sad that this is happening. I'm happy that, first of all, the father, they said the woman came, when she came, they first gaslighted her. Stay shouting at her, stay. How do you bury a child? How do I, give a child to somebody and they bury the child without even informing you? It already smells suspicious, because if what you're saying is true, then you should have alerted the mother as soon as it happens. How do they give you a living child and you're burying the child without the mother's consent? That's very wrong, very rude, very disrespectful. And this woman is very bitter. At this point, she's saying, she's done crying. She just wants justice for her child. How many justice are we going? Justice for this? How many are we going to see? Let the DSS do its work. Let the state security operators, let them do their work.
Honestly,
I don't believe
Let
that there's an
autopsy be done.
inconclusive investigation. I want to see the autopsy.
The man
We are
is
very
guilty,
invested.
because if she didn't die of abuse, there's some level of negligence, because she can't even explain how she died. You can't explain. You don't know what happened. You say you went out, you came back through. You don't explain how she died. Somebody that is under your care. So he has to explain, and then explain why he didn't inform the mother that anything happened to the child. That's very, very important. The other woman, madam, whether you went a week ago or not, you should come at least answer. Provide your alibi. Let them be sure, okay, checked out. They say you brought. Actually, they have forensic department now. This is only Lagos.
No.
Okay.
They
should
said that
this is a crime scene.
Autopsy.
They
Dig
should
out
do
that
what
body. Let us see what really killed. What do you have to say? I've been saying you've been struggling to say something.
it's kind of, when it comes to things like this, or how I get high on emotions, because mainly my problem is when I hear banditry, that I used to have serious problem, because that's where I used to bust out. Or when I hear corruption, but this issue is actually a whole different thing, because I'm angry, but I don't even have the power to bust out, because it's kind of very sad. Even though maybe, okay, there are two different parents, I believe in co-parenting. Okay, sometimes you should go and meet your dad, because there are certain roles that only a mother can play in a child's life, and there are certain roles that only a father can play. But for this outcome, honestly, it's unacceptable. How can I give you this? You are not the sole owner of this person. Okay, you are a co-owner. I'll use the word co-owner. Yeah, so you're a co-parent, honestly. Then if something happens, if I want to, as a co-parent, okay, I'm the father, you are the mother, I want to enroll this child in school. Even though I'm the father, I have to tell you, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I don't own this child alone, even though I'm paying. Okay, I want to put him in this school. What do you see? Is it okay with you? But how would a child die buried without the mother's consent? How is that done? That's why I said sometimes things that happen in this country, when they explain this country to you, you can never understand it. And some people were living with animals. Some people are supposed to be in the zoo. Honestly, we're having lack of animals in our zoo. Some people need to just go and
Join
stay
them
there.
there.
Honestly, how will you bury? She has a mother. You bury her without you, then the mother would come without notifying her. She will just come out of the blue. Then you tell her, okay, the child is dead. You see, maybe she's a lady. Because me, if you told me that, I would not know when I would even throw a handle.
But
because
that's
it's
what
quite
she's saying.
disrespectful.
She said if
for
it
you
was
to
the
tell me
other
that
way
information.
around, that what they would have done to her.
Honestly, irrespective, forget about gender. Where are relatives? Where are her? How is this happening? A child, it's actually getting too personal to me, because I don't understand the logic whereby, as a mother or a father, a co-parent, your child dies, even if she's not in this country, let her know. Okay, come and see. Okay, my child dies. Okay, this is the child. No, you just tell me that, okay, your child dies and I've buried it. Where's the logic?
And we're talking about an absentee father for 13 years.
Honestly,
You're an absentee father for 13 years. She has been doing fine, all right, with this kid, taking care of the child and everything. And you asked for a holiday with the child. She granted you. She did not hold malice. She did not hold grudges. she gave you access to this child, and this is the payment she gets. This is the reward she gets for this. We are talking about the whole presence of absentee fathers. I will come back in 8 years. You know, that whole narrative, I will come back in 8 years and claim the child will come back to me. All this whole mindset. Now, see, it has led to the death of this child. We are calling out to the police force. Look into this matter.
Just like you said, right? The police force needs to, you see, we've had this kind of case, the case of Mohbad. Up till today, we've not had the end of that result. How did he die? Kosi, we don't know. Who killed him? We don't know. So this is, did he natural death? No. Was he poisoned? You see, this is a case that, you see, they need to do better, honestly, because we don't want the same case with this. Because now you see people, you know, when they keep dragging the case, people tend to lose interest.
And we want a swift response.
Honestly,
the way they did with Charlie Kirk's murderer.
They need to go deeper.
The same way we want this fast, swift response to this issue. We don't want to hear them say.
Honestly.
We want to know what actually happened, and as fast as possible. I'm Barry to World, and we're still on the morning break.
I'm Ijoma, and we're going
Honestly,
to see you guys tomorrow.
I know, I'm Mohammed. Thank you for being with us.